Today is 437 day that I come here to share lessons I learned and I'm learning. I hope those lessons support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Yesterday I shared how to improve your emotional intelligence. Today I will share how to improve your time management skills, because time management is essential in life. Because if you not manage your time, that means someone else will manage your time. Because if you want to live a fulfilling life, you need to understand how valuable your time is. A lot of times people value money more than time, but what most important thing is time, not the money. So that means if you want to spend your time with the family, of course you need to make money, but the more money you make, the more time you're able to get back. So today we'll share 7 things that you could potentially do to really improve your time management skills. So first one is set clear goals. That means if you want to really have a better management of your time, you need to understand what you're seeking. That means you need to have a very clear goal. So it could be a day, it could be a weekly, it could be a monthly goal, but you need to pursue something. I could give you an analogy. Imagine that you're running a marathon and you're running, like, of course, at how many, 26 miles or 20 miles? So that means if you know that what kind of goal you want to achieve, if let's say that 3 hours. So that means at the finish, when you know where you are, you will try to push as hard as you can to make sure that you're able to hit those 3 hours mark. But if you do not have a goal, so that means you will run just to finish it. But if you have a goal, and that clear goal, you will stretch and you will try to pursue the goal. So that means you will adjust your running to make sure that you're able to hit it. Exactly the same in sales, in anything you do. When you have that clear goal, you pursue with much more power. You stretch yourself when you're really pursuing something. Just you set your clear goals to make sure that you're able to use your time better, because you will push more to be able to achieve more. Second is create a schedule. So that means if you really want to execute the best, planning is very essential. That means that when you start a day, you have that schedule. So okay, you know exactly what to do. Because I found a lot of times people lose a lot of time because they always they think, okay, what I will do next, what I will do next. Then every single day they think about, okay, what we'll do next. But if you do a schedule like every Sunday for the whole week, that means you exactly know what you do. So that means you don't need to think about it, you just execute. So it's crazy how much time you're able to save when you don't need to think about it, but you focus on executing. Number 3 is use a planner. That means, of course, it's nice to have some kind of notebook, but when you start looking for, okay, how I could improve my systems, how I could improve my processes, because a lot of times when you have processes and systems in place, it's much easier to execute. So that is, what kind of planner do you use? A lot of times those planners could help you to maximize your time as well, because when you have an amazing planner, that means that all those extra activities could be done by a planner, like online planner. So that means you don't need to focus on creating every single day, writing down all the things that you potentially could write on the paper, and all those things could be done by planner. So that means that it doesn't matter what kind of planner you have. What matters is what kind of systems and procedures and processes do you have that you're able to automate. Because if you do everything by manually, of course you will lose time. But if you find a way how you can automate your procedures and systems, you will find that you're able to save more time. Number 4 is avoid distractions. And avoid distractions is a huge one. A lot of times people have their phones, TV available, so that means if they work, something pops up, then they lose focus on the work. Because if you really want to manage your time and focus to value your time, that means when you work, you work. When you distracted. When you work, you work. So that means that you need to master that 100% present moment. That means you're able to be in that flow. Because a lot of times people lose a lot of time because they focus on work for 15 minutes, and then they get distracted by phone, and then they need a couple minutes, even 5 minutes back to the idea and the thoughts that they had before. So you need to be very careful with distractions. You need to avoid distractions to make sure that you're able to use time efficiently. 5 is take breaks. And I probably could take breaks, be careful with this one, because take breaks it depends who you are as a person. If you're taking breaks every 15 minutes, of course, don't take breaks, because you need to reduce your breaks. But if you're a person who are striving, very driven, and you just work hours and hours and hours non-stop because you want to finish the work, you need to master taking breaks. Because It depends on the person, but one person is able to focus 45 minutes until the mind starts to wander. Other person is hour, and the maximum I think that a person could really work until the mind starts to wander and is tired is 90 minutes. So if you want to work for 2 hours, so maybe you can allocate 90 minutes for a focus time without distractions, and then 30 minutes break, some kind of refresher, maybe even 5 minutes, like 10 minutes, like, but you need to have a break that you're able to rest, have a breather, have a walk, stretch a little bit, and then go back into the work. So breaks is essential, and a weekly breaks and daily breaks as well. Number 6 is learn to say no. Now again, this is it's a big question as well, because a lot of times people say always no, and they need to learn to say yes. But the majority of people need to learn to say no, because of course majority of people are people pleasers and they want to be liked. So that means they a lot of times commit to things they're not supposed to commit. But you need to understand that when you're pursuing something, sometimes you need to say, okay, I will not say to anything yes. I will always say no for next 3 months, next 6 months. Then I will build some skill, and while I'm building that skill, I will say to everything no, and after I will be able to build that skill, I will be able to use that skill to generate income, and I will be able to say yes to much more things. So I mean, sometimes you need to have that delayed gratification mindset when you say, okay, next 3 months I will say to everything no, to barbecues, friends, clubs, everything, but I will invest in myself, and I will build skill, I will build business, that I will be able to say much more yeses in the future. And the last one is be flexible. This is very interesting because a lot of times people say a very, very strict schedule, and something happens, because life happens. Every single person understands that life happens. You're never able to plan exactly how it is. So it means you need to plan some kind of break time or some kind of essential things that time, because if you have that very, very tight schedule but something happens, you need to be able to be flexible and switch something around that you still finish your main objective of the day. Because I think I truly believe that every single person is supposed to have one main objective. So that means when you have that one main objective, and something happens that you're not able to focus on other things, you still, okay, I was not able to finish those things, but what is my main objective? That means if I have 1 hour instead of 5, what I could do with that hour. So that means you need to have that plan B to say, okay, I still are able to hit that lower bar, what I want to achieve. So that means you don't say, oh, I was not able to do 5 hours, I will not do anything at all. No, you need to say, okay, if I have that 1 hour or half an hour, I still focus on that one main priority. So time management is very important. I love what John C. Maxwell says, that there's no such a thing as time management, because what it is priority management. But at the same time, we need to understand that time is very, very important, and we need to understand how to master time, because when you master time, you're able to succeed and you're able to move forward much, much, much faster. I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.